Welcome or welcome back if you are returning. My name is berrrlynn, and if you are a fan of MMOs, RPGs, JRPGs, obscure video games, art, or music, then I suggest you subscribe because that is everything that we do here. As well as if you could give a like to this video, that really helps us combat the algorithm. And my allergies are super stupid this morning, so I'll try not to sniffle too much, but no promises. Just a few quick notes. I have a Discord where we have a lot of fun discussions and we all hang out during the day when we are not live, and if you want to join that, the link will be in the description. I also have a Patreon if you want to support the channel that way. That link, as well as my other socials, will be in the description below as well. I think that is all we need to do for this intro. We are continuing Final Fantasy XIV today. We are doing Hildibrand, because I can't get enough of this guy. He's so corny. I love it. Hey Lee, good morning. I'm just so happy we finally got this dance. I have been dreaming of this dance since I first saw it. And my little pig, I love this pig. It's cute. Okay, so we're continuing. Oh, sorry, bud. Sorry, gotta shift my table here. Squishing a dog's foot. Don't want to do that. Alright. Miss Ellie, what you got? What is up? Yeah, it's so funny. I was wondering when you'd show up, Burr. I hope you haven't made any plans for the day, because we've got a situation on our hands. Remember our good friend the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he's decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder. If the rumors are to be believed, he's claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Ul'dan society. Mr. Many Faces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene, leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. The message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you'll hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke, the mithril eye's been selling like Ponce cakes. Ponce cakes. The only rub is that it's left me no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Burr? The hidden treasure of Ul'dan, was it? If there's anyone who can shed some light on this, it's you-know-who. To Sun Silk Tapestries. Alright, Sun Silk Tapestries. Good old Ul'dan. Oh yeah, that guy. The guy who told us about this whole thing. The guy who made us go find Mr. Zombie himself. You know, I don't think he's a zombie anymore. I guess he is still. I don't know. Not quite sure what to think of him. Hee. Wyman? Well now, if it ain't my favorite venturer, and my favorite mithril eye reporter along with her. Tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? I see. As much as I'd like to help the 2 lovely ladies, I'm afraid you found out old Wyman at a loss. Ul'dan has more than its fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our phantom friend could be after just about any of them. Small person. I can tell you this much, though. Whatever the thief's got his eyes on, it's got the Sultan's sword in a right dither. Word has it they formed a regiment are the best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults from this very threat. This Sultan's sword aren't like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead we've got. Come on, Burr. I'd say it's time we paid a visit to the heart of the sword. Oi, hold up there, Ellie. I ain't generally the worrying type, but you may want to think twice before getting yourselves involved in this. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time, the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying to play hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you that I am ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is about more than selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, Burr, time is of the essence. Ah, typical journalist reporter. I gotta find out the truth and give it to the people. I only speak the truth. I only speak the truth. Where's this again? It's over here. Ooh, she looks so pretty. That's a fun dance too. I love how this little pig bounces. Seems so empty. Sunday morning is slow. Or maybe it's busy, everybody's out doing stuff. That could be what it is. Is it here? Is that Scholar's Walk? Where am I going now? Ah, over there. Oh yeah. The AFK dancers. Halt! Only authorized personnel are allowed in. They'll bugger me with a broadsword. It's the Gentleman of Light's adventuring companion and that catty but cute reporter from the Mithril Eye. Oh, hi, Humphrey. Well, well, if it isn't the self-styled warrior of light. Tell me, what tall tales did you spin to the Sultan's sworn recruiter to land yourself in this position? Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing that Gentleman of Light standing tall and triumphant that day, it moved me to the depths of my soul, like... I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm, just like my hero master Hildibrand. The Sultan's sworn were impressed with my commitment and my sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their ranks. Wait, don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildibrand in his investigation, haven't you? Cor, why didn't you say so sooner? It's the least I could do to help the two ladies who united me with my role model. Can't. You'll be wanting to speak with Felice. She's one of the Sworn's best and something of a history buff, it'd seem. When she heard the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Belladia, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has the information you're looking for, it'd be her. Wait here while I get her. I can trust you not to touch anything, eh? No promises. A pleasure to meet you, Felice. My name is Ellie from the Mithril Eye. As you may have heard, we're researching the Phantom Thief case and would appreciate any information that may shed light on recent events. The pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie, and if I'm not mistaken, that would make your companion friend here one berrrlynn. Yes, she has pretty eyes. You know Burr? As any regular reader of the Mithril Eye would, I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly befits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist in the investigation. Doubtless the inspector, too, will also welcome a helping hand. Here he is. The Sultan's Sworn, the elite of Ul'dah's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector berrrlynn, always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, a moment, if you would. Oops, sorry. Right there, very good. Now face me and don't move an ilm. Inspector, what is that in your cuff, please? What did he do? Demasking dust. A formula of my own devising that will allow us to see right through the thief's disguises. Just pocket sand. Analyzing the mask left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counteragent that would dissolve the disguise, whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear to be. Brilliant, Inspector! The phantom thieves pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time. I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan's Sword at our disposal, we are only able to produce a limited supply. I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Ulda, the last of the 4 lost relics of Beladia. I fear not. I've poured through the histories time and again, but the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe 4 sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these 4 Beladian heroes, but it makes no mention as to their appearance or nature. 3 times we have tried to identify the thief's target, and 3 times he foiled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the fiend's strengths. All artifacts of Beladian origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dust and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages. The Black Guard will be in chains before he can lay a dirty hand on the vault doors, let alone the treasures within. You have our word, milady. Milady. Yay. But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard of the recent rash of murders perpetrated by our quarry. The Sultan's Sword have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we have been far too occupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We would be most grateful for any assistance you could offer. A lady asks, and a gentleman answers. Here he is. Cast all worry from your heart, my lady. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the demasking dust that is the talk of the palace. Ah, but you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be. A shame, that. Inspector Hildibrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murders. So goofy. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far, the head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. That the influencers. Other than that, they were all influential figures in their respective circles. We can identify no common threads connecting the 3. Oh-ho! This will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what of the method of killing? Conked over the head with a cudgel? Gutted with a great sword? Strangled with a subligar, mayhap? I'm afraid that we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murderer plots the deaths of 2 more even as we speak. We must take action, and quickly. Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My realm-renowned powers of deduction are more than up to the task. I will see this burglar-turned-butcher delivered to justice. Your presence is hard today indeed, Inspector Hildibrand. Friends, please take this demasking dust with you. I fear we can spare but a single sachet, but I trust you will put it to good use. Good old Hildy. Hello. Come to accompany me on yet another case, friend. I like your gusto, but if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role has already been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all of his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Burr, my ever-loyal associate. And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 sins of Sasimo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off. Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious, my ever-loyal associate. We must put Miss Felice's demasking dust to good use. It's a tongue twister. The 80 sins of Sasimo. Out the gates. Take it this way. I know, right? It's a lot to compete with. Make sure I'm going the right way. Yes. Do. Oh, right up here. Big old tortoise. Flowers. Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares. What do you think you're doing, eh? Eh? I am the one who put those flowers there, eh? To honor the memory of me poor boy. You dare defile his memory, eh? Eh? She must be Canadian. 1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire. I swear to you on my own dear mother's name that your flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean... Leave this place! Run away while you still can! Run far, far away! Run, or he'll turn you into a zombie, just like my poor, poor boy! A living person turned into a zombie? Nonsense. No nonsense, my boy. History. Or have you not heard of the horrors of Silde? Aye, Ulda's sibling nation against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, aye, rotten flesh, and ran him through. But ye won't hear that from the Sultan's word. Thal alone knows why, but they whisked the body away before he could so much as pay me last respects. The traitor spurred. I had heard the stories, but I never thought them true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing, just who are we dealing with here? A Sildan, I'm sure of it. Aye, only a Sildan would know this recipe. But the last remnants of Silda died 4 centuries ago, you say? Oh, they did. She's gone crazy. He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But did it ever occur to ye that you might be an honest-to-God's phantom? Eh? Eh? I heard the tales from my old great-great-grandma, I did, about the 4 relics of Belladia and the powers they hold. The power to exact justice. A spectre of Silda has returned to wreak vengeance on us. Woe, woe unto us all! Have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us? My dear boy, if only you'd become a traitor like your father. If only you'd kept your nose out of those history books, and never so much breathed the accursed name of Silda. But you did, and now we're doomed, doomed, doomed! Ah, yeah. It's like, I can't. I wish I had voice acting. I want to hear that would be pronounced. He's flexing his brain muscles there. That bleeding Horson's here somewhere. I can feel it in me follicles. Huh? This guy. The most potent hair tonic the realm has seen? Aye, that it was. For all of a fortnight, afore my flowing locks fell out all over again. And just as I was chatting up a lovely young lass at the quicksand, just to twist the knife an extra ilm. Montebac! Charlatan! I'll find that so-called inspector and his sorry band and pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls. Oh, don't touch my hair. It's all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless deduction. Ahem. Our phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and dead for nigh on centuries since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul, that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of the spectre's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search at the Thaumaturges Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations. Looks like that tortoise is just listening in. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Silda might save us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need. You can count on me, Inspector berrrlynn. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye. Exciting. A bark or two. Hi, Trizzy! It's good to see you. Hi, Corey. Yes, we got Borks. Bork. You're very good at letting me know when things are happening. Oh my gosh, I can't get out of here. I just want this one open. Here we go. It has been. I hope everything's been going well. I don't know if I'm supposed to... Oh yeah, I'm supposed to talk to this person. I appreciate the ancient feud between Ulda and Silda, are you? Most impressive. Young people these days show so little interest in learning from the past. Anyhow, I'm pleased to say I have more than a passing familiarity with ancient history. To understand the history of the sibling nations, one must go back further still, to the birth of their mother nation, Belladia. Such the words in this game. The fifth astral era was an age of untold wonders, when the arcane arts burgeoned, and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. Look at this little one. Ah, so cute. This age of enlightenment would not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated in the War of the Magi, which brought the great floods of the sixth umbral calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left a battered wasteland in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused this catastrophe, with many forced to leave their homelands or face death. It was a small band of those survivors that found their way to Thanalan, where they would found the nation of Belladia some 8 centuries ago. Ah, imagine, a government of mages, by mages, and for mages. What wonders might have been wrought had Belladian civilization survived to this very day. Alas, this was not to be. I don't know about mages running everything. Mages got some attitudes. They think just because they can do all these magics and stuff. Greetings, traveler. You would learn of the war between Wilda and the fallen Sultanate of Silda? It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The two city-states coexisted for several generations until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating in outright war. As you might deduce from the present state of affairs, Ulda emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smoldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Ulda's superior numbers, Sildan alchemists devised a most horrific stratagem. Employing a frightful formula known as the Traitor's Spurn, they brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Some theories have it that they even employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak or wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine just thinking about it. No, it is truly a crowning glory of our fair nation that our forebears were able to emerge victorious against those horrors. Yes, doesn't sound very pleasant. Just turn in, be like, you might be alive, but you're useless, so we're gonna turn you into a zombie and make you much more useful. This one looks so dark and mysterious with your bandaged face. What's that you say? You seek knowledge of the bad blood between Ulda and Silda? I suppose I can spare a moment or two, but take good notes. I'm not fond of repeating myself. 2 scales, one of gold and one of silver. The gold of Ulda weighing prosperity and power. The silver of Silda weighing knowledge and power. But the power sought by the two nations differ greatly. Yes, greatly indeed. The power wrought by Ulda and prosperity was that of justice and good, while the power wrought by Silda knowledge was horrific beyond belief. The power to rip the living soul out of a man and render him a mindless killing machine. On this matter, the histories are clear. But riddle me this, my friend. Who writes the histories? And what does this say of the words writ within? Yes, truth can be elusive and fickle as the shifting sands. As one example, did you know that the war against Silda, Uldan and Amalja warriors fought side by side? Likely you did not, and neither did I, until I encountered a faded passage in an ancient text buried deep in our archives. And yet in the histories read by the populace, you will see no mention of the most fascinating fact. Might it be that someone at some time deemed this particular truth less than convenient? But I have said enough already. No way! History being revised? That never happens. This is surely a fantasy. Where's this last guy? Aha! Erasmus. Hello. You don't say. It's not every day someone comes to our halls to research Silda. As a fellow student of history, though, I more than welcome the conversation. Beladian civilization flourished in relative peace until 2 sons were born to the royal family. The 2 were fierce rivals, and when they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. With neither son willing to relinquish his claim, they agreed to split their kingdoms in 2, forming the twin nations of Ulda and Silda. But not unlike the 2 proud princes, the sibling nations have developed a penchant for rivalry. Okay, now what do I do? Oh, Hildibrand's standing right here. I'm like, where now is? Huh? Oh wait, look how cute. Her little pigtails. Adorable potatoes. I love a potato. My ever-loyal associate, tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the scholars in these halls? Indeed. As it happens, I have learned much the same. Let us take a moment to review, and allow my peerless powers of deduction to work their magic. A war of succession divides the great civilization of Belladia, giving rise to the sibling nations of Ulna and Silda. The two nations coexist for some generations until ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war. Daunted by Ulna's superior military might, Silda employs her advanced alchemical knowledge to horrific ends, transforming their own citizens, alive and dead, into a fearsome, undead legion. Yes, I believe I have it. The facts at hand have led me to one unassailable conclusion. Our phantom thief is a descendant of doomed Silda, who seeks vengeance against those who reduced his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully to the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sildan statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem, and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering he has wrought. That's it. A brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go find yourself a shovel and dig the statesman out of his grave yourself. Leaving aside this nonsense of spirits and specters, it appears increasingly likely that our query shares some link to Silda. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of the fallen sultanate. This Sildan connection could also serve to explain the rare knowledge of Belladian relics our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common threat amongst them could have incurred the ire of our adversary? A few people in town spoke of a man sighted calling upon the victims in the past days. Those who saw him said he had a most frightened air about him. Wait, yes, it's coming to me. Of course, my keen investigator's senses ring out with a voice loud and clear. This man Miss Ellie speaks of just might know something. You really should stop thinking so hard. You're like to strain a brain muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man and where might we find him? My sources identified the man as Guguria, a traveling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Shall we pay him a visit? So goofy. Don't strain yourself, sir. Wait, where are we supposed to go? This way. Horizon. Shh. Of course it's a little potato. Yeah, yes? If you've got business, make it quick. My time's too valuable to waste chat with every stranger who passes by. Forgive us, good sir. My name is Ellie, a reporter with the Mithril Eye. Never blinking, all-seeing. You know the rest. I was wondering if we could trouble you with just a few questions. Was it for love or money that you killed them? Yes, you, the thief of many faces. Me? A thief? What is this nonsense? I don't know who you are, but I ain't got the time or the patience for this mummery. Now, if you'll excuse me, an important client awaits. I thought I recognized that voice. It's her. Lady Dorilda. Well met indeed. Pray tell, whatever brings you to these environs this fair evening. Wait, or is it her? Oh, wait, she does live here, that's right. Well, why, I live here, you ham-headed half-wit. Inspector Briardian, this is an unexpected pleasure. Do you have some business with my associate here, pray tell? Guguria, we can discuss business after. Pray let the inspector here, the handsome one, whatever assistance he requires. But Lady Dorilda, what about... Ah, yes, my dear Maria's name day present. I had in mind one of the prize pieces from Ishtim's latest seasonal collection. You would be able to procure one for me, yes? Or shall I eliminate the middleman and make the trip to Ulna myself? I'll say it just once more, Guguria. I expect you to give the inspector and his companions your full assistance. They, yes, even the stupid one, helped me regain something truly priceless. Yes, something more valuable than any mere trinket. Even the stupid one. Alright, I'll tell you what I know, but you didn't hear it from me, got it? I was looking into the killing on behalf of a client of mine. The thief's got himself some of that zombie dust. The traitor's sperm, was it? And his cards speak of 5 victims. It got me to thinking, Silda. 5 victims? Aye, the Arbiters of Truth. The Arbiters of Truth? I am not familiar with the name. Aye, few would be, on account of them being something of a secret society and all. Influential personages of the Sultanate, you see, working from the shadows to keep false knowledge about the Ulda-Silda conflict from reaching the ears of folk like you and me. Shh. False knowledge? Pray tell, just what sort of knowledge might that be? Those balls, don't make me say no more. I've got a family to feed. Very well, just tell us one last thing. Who hired you and where can we find him? Hob! His name's Hob. When he heard of what I said, he told me that he was going to set sail for Limsa with his 5 best sellswords to guard his back. Said there were many prying eyes at the airship docks. Said he had a private ship docked and waiting for him at Vesper Bay. But, remember, you didn't hear none of this from me. This man Hob must be one of the killer's targets. Doubtless he also knows the identity of the remaining one. I doubt that. They say the Arbiters are so secretive, they don't even know each other's true identities. Now don't ask me how that all works, but Hob's got high-ranking friends in the Brass Blades. Once he heard the victims had been all zombified, he panicked. Guess he knew that he'd be next. Thank you very much, my kind sir. Once again, the ancient Manderville art of parley has procured for us a keen morsel of knowledge. Let us seek out this Hob fellow and see what he can share with us. And let us hurry. The man's life is in danger, even as we speak. So quiet. What? Oh, he's dead. He knew he was gonna get murdered, and he was murdered. Master Hob, is everything quite all right? No, stand back, Ellie. Hunger! I hunger for your brains! He's a zombie. Damn, there's no saving the man. Bird, do what you must. Oh, great. Oh, great. Bonk. Yes, my first-hand knowledge of zombies tells me this particular shade of green is unmistakably that of the undead. 'Twould seem we were a few moments late to the scene. A message. And then there was one. He looks so weird. Just like a store mannequin walking around. There it is again. Is something the matter, Inspector? Indeed, Ashu, there is. Ever since I picked up the trail of the phantom thief, I've had this fleeting sense. A sense that someone, or something, is watching us. The thief might be close at hand. We should be careful. For the moment, let us return and report our findings to Miss Felice. Secret society or no, knowing the identities of its members may yet lead us to the final victim. I, too, had best return to the Mithril Eye. Let's meet up again after. I'll see what new clues I can uncover in the meantime. You will do nothing of the sort, Miss Ellie. These streets are far too dangerous for you to walk alone. Inspector, I'll go with her. If you insist, Nashu, then I give my leave. But pray be wary, not just of the thief, but of Miss Ellie. She has quite the temper, as we both know. Oh my gosh. Nashu is like the strongest one out of everybody. She's even stronger than me. Aw, Miss Ellie, there is something I must tell you when this case is over. Be safe and promise me that you will not attempt anything rash, as you did that time when the fiend took aim at my own life. Your life? Inspect. Ah, at Costa del Sol. Yes, that was quite the ordeal, wasn't it? Their faces look away. It's just perfect. I'll be careful, I promise. I eagerly await the day when I may hear what it is you would share with me. A secret vow. Consider my interest piqued as well, good Inspector. Now let us be off. Miss Felice awaits our report. Aww. So we have to go back to Ulda. Yes. Here? Erlich's burial chamber? Maybe I'm going the wrong way. It's not that way. What am I doing? I just went to the burial chamber. There's coffins. I don't want to go here. Got all discombobulated. Wait, it should be in here. Unless it's like above me or something. Maybe it's above. Got all discombobulated for my dog's barking. The anxiety. Don't they all know I have too much anxiety? That's why I... A fourth victim. Thou have mercy. Were you able to glean aught of a connection to the other victims? The arbiters of truth. No, it cannot be. Somebody, help! Huh? Miss Ellie, the voice came from the direction of the vault. We must hurry. Wait, was I just there? Miss Ellie, are you hurt? The man, I only thought to ask him a few questions. Before I knew what was happening, he was upon me. I could only... bash his brains with a conveniently placed bottle of mead, it would seem. Ha-ha! Reminds me not to get on your bad side, Miss Ellie. That said, is Nashu not with you? She saw a figure lurking in the shadows and went off in pursuit before I could stop her. This man wears the armor of a sultan's sworn squire, yet his face is unfamiliar to me. Something is amiss. The thief of many faces! To think we would find our man like this! Thrice and again did the fiend elude our grasp, but no more! By virtue of a gentleman's ingenious deductions and a lady's pugilistic puissance, I declare this case closed. I return this statue to you, Miss Felice. Whilst the gesture was appreciated, in the end it proved superfluous to my cracking of this case. Oh my gosh, his ego, I can't. Oh my gosh. While you're at it, is there anything else of immense value that you'd like to wantonly destroy? Ha-ha! I wondered if it was like a mask upon a mask. What is the meaning of this? Ingenious. A double disguise, planted by the thief to throw us off his trail, no doubt. This is Gyugyu. Gyugyu, one of my most capable men. I assigned him to guard the vault and outfitted him with an ample supply of demasking dust. It is inconceivable that the thief could so easily elude his grasp. Unless the thief was not wearing a mask. Speaking of which, has anyone seen Miss Ellie? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, that's impossible. Of course, it all makes perfect sense. With the Phantom Thief to thank for her burgeoning readership and rise through the ranks of the Mithril Eye, Miss Ellie could not bear to face the possibility of her story of a lifetime coming to an end. Thus she hatched a plan to... They're just like, Milady, the vault has been breached. The wise men's whisper, it's gone. For her foul crimes against the Sultanate, I hereby declare Ellie of the Mithril Eye, the thief of many faces, an enemy of the state. Deploy all troops and do not rest until she is in custody. And now the game is truly afoot. Ah! Greg! What is the meaning of all of this racket and rumpus? And just as we are about to make our triumphant return. Isn't that so, Enkidu? It's kind of hilarious that he's just like this person. Gilgamesh. Miss Ellie! Miss Ellie! That shadow you said you saw, I think it was just a dormouse. Oh. Oh no! Just gonna get real confusing. To think he literally stumbled face first onto the second mask. His good fortune truly knows no end. But not to worry. Yes, I dare say the Phantom Thief has another trick or two up his sleeve. So funny. The plot thickens. My ever-loyal associate. We must find Miss Ellie and quickly. Surely, if confronted by her constant companion, she can still be convinced to abandon this fool plan. Oh, Miss Felice, I thought you had already departed in the company of your men. But all for the better. Shall we conduct the search altogether? I fear that would only put them at greater risk. You see, the fifth and final member of the Arbiters of Truth, the Phantom Thief's final target, is none other than... Hildibrand Mander? Me. Oh my gosh, this guy. Oh, we've got a thunderstorm watch in effect. I'll keep an eye out. Me, mind you, it is not a role I sought of my own accord. My name and my passion for history are somewhat well known in the Sultanate. One day I received an anonymous letter stating that a position in the committee had opened, and I had been chosen to fill it. The letter went on to enumerate my duties, to prevent the spread of historical lies that would sully the name of our illustrious nation. As a high-ranking officer in the Sultan's Sword, I was deemed to be in a particularly unique position to serve as an arbiter. I knew that there were other members of the organization, but was told nothing of their names or identities, to think that my unknown compatriots were the victims all along. I cannot put any more lives in danger. I will sequester myself in a place where my presence can cause no harm, until such time as the killer is apprehended. Your concern for our well-being is most touching. Miss Felice, but there is no need for such caution. As a seasoned inspector, I am more than capable of protecting a lady in distress, and as a gentleman, that is exactly what I shall do. My associates here also stand at your side. Speaking of which, has anyone seen my loyal assistant? Oh gosh. Inspector! Over here! Ah, there you are, Dashu. You really shouldn't run off on your own like that. I was worried sick about you. I'm sorry, Inspector. Miss Ellie said she saw somebody in the shadows, so I went to take a look. Now, there wasn't anything there but a dormouse, but it was a really cute dormouse, you see? It just kept squeaking and scurrying away, and I just... Pardon me for a moment, Nashu. Yes, my inspector's son speaks to me. Someone is watching us. Burr, let us split up and canvass our surroundings. The eternal movie. But, is it? I think it's the shadow guy. Thief man. Search for evidence. Oh my gosh, I just want to click on it to see where we're searching. Oh, like right around here. Okay. Right behind us. Hey, water-stained letter. Don't mind if I do. A water-stained letter lies conspicuously on the floor. Be wary and be warned. Wow. I better do just that. Trust no one, and your friends all the less. Why you taught me so much? Why don't you just do your thing? This guy just... the egos abound in this. This will avail you well. Use it wisely. You obtain a sachet of demasking dust. In the next instant, you feel an intimidating presence behind you. Uh-oh. Oh no! Intimidating presence. Ho ho ho! If it isn't my beloved son's staunch companion, the mighty Burr. I was in the area on a matter of business, which I curtailed when I felt a suspicious presence from the shadows. Pursuing it led me here. Mayhap it is the same for you. Step back. Big step back. Oh ho, so your pursuit of the thief of many faces has taken quite the unexpected turn, and now you have come upon a series of anonymous letters. Mayhap our watcher in the shadows is a friend, or is this but another trap laid by the fiend? Yes, the plot thickens like a dollop of salamander oil. In either event, I dare say the circumstances call for utmost caution. The thief could be anywhere, or anyone. Myself excluded, of course. No mere mask could replicate the physique of this Manderville man. That said, I fear my dear Hildy may be in a bit over his head this time. Allow me to assist in your investigation. Were anything to happen to Hildibrand, his dear mother would, not be pleased. Now, is this really Godber? I don't know. I don't trust anyone. If the sender speaks true, the villain even now lurks within our midst, and yet we have but a single sachet of demasking dust at our disposal. We must identify the impostor beyond reasonable doubt before we proceed. You know the players better than I, Burr. What say you have a few words with each of them and see if aught seems amiss? Inspector Berrrlynn told me all about it. Who'd have thunk Miss Ellie was the phantom thief all this time? She sure fooled me. Am I doomed to share the same fate as the others? I'd sooner die than become one of those things. Miss Ellie is a phantom thief. It is the only logical conclusion. And yet, I cannot help but feel that another truth still evades us. I spoke with them all. Gathered all the info I could find. Nothing particularly odd about any of them, you say? It stands to reason. The fiend would not take such a risk if he were not utterly confident that he could pull off the ruse. Curses! This one's not half the fool his son is. I must elude him, and quickly. Time is of the essence. Yeah, unfortunately his dad's got some brains. I questioned the Sultan's sworn outside. To a man, they insist they have seen naught of Miss Ellie. Wherever could she have gone? Father, what brings you here? Yes, finally the pieces are coming together. Now, if you would kindly stand still and shut up. The fiend already stands among us. Inspector Berrrlynn, I should hope you are not doubting me. While I'm quite convinced that even a master impersonator would struggle to recreate your particular brand of idiocy, the fact remains that anyone here who has spent even a moment alone must be considered a suspect. The thief has proven to be highly efficient at assuming new identities. An astute observation, my gangly friend. I'd say this occasion calls for a dose or two of that powder Burr here found earlier. There would have happened to be another sachet or two lying about, would there? What remains of our supply has already been distributed to the search party. But worry not, they should be reporting back within a bell's time. Ha! Time might be against me, but just you watch. I'll wiggle my way out of this and turn you into the reeking, drooling corpse you deserve to be. I fear that is more time than we can afford, Miss Felice. Fortunately, my powers of deduction will lay the fiend's face bare within minutes. We know that, given the choice, the thief prefers to impersonate familiar personages. As Miss Ellie has had only passing interactions with my dear father, we can safely eliminate him from consideration. That leaves myself, Nashu, and Burr here. Nashu and I, in particular, have had a close and extended relationship with our suspect. I shall begin by questioning my own assistant. I assure you that none know her better than I. Brilliant reasoning as ever, Inspector. Go on, ask me anything. Of all the times for this overstuffed buffoon to start talking sense, if he asks me anything too obscure, my cover is as good as blown. My relationship with Nashu is so close, I dare say at times it is as if we share a mind. If this Nashu is truly my ever-loyal assistant, she should have no trouble completing my thoughts. Ahem. I'm a Manderville. They're all like, man! Doing what only a Manderville can! From the peaks of Acarthus to Thanalan, Manderville. Man, you're the best, Inspector. Oh my gosh, that was the dumbest test ever. A perfect score, you may rest easy, dear friends. This is unmistakably, unequivocally, indubitably the true Nashu. I've never loved you more than now, you marvelous muttonhead, you. Nashu, is something the matter? Just because you picked up a few more wrinkles beneath the eyes, there's no need to avert that charming face of yours. Wrinkles? Wrinkles? Look who's chalking, you crusty, cretinous old... Genius, Inspector? Got him! The charade is up, Miss Ellie. Pocket sand! Miss Ellie, you look somehow different? Oh, that smirk. What the heck is going on? Hyrule woman, Huron. Hyrule. That person's name is Storm Lady. Good name. Seven hells, done in by a muscle-bound mutton-head and his motley troop of mummers. And I would have gotten away with it. Just who are you? Your resemblance to Miss Ellie is most uncanny, and yet... Consulting Inspector Berrrlynn, once again you failed to measure up to your lofty reputation. Of course we resemble each other. Ellie is, after all, my own flesh and blood. My beloved sister and my eminently capable partner in crime. 1,000 faces I may wear, but only one name do I bear. You can call me Cece. Charmed, I'm sure. Cece? Are you quite alright? Why, you look as if you've seen a ghost. Despite my moniker, I assure you that Ellie and I are no specters. What we are, mind you, are the last living scions of Sylvan aristocracy. Bemused, are you? Befuddled to find two sisters behind the mask? Try using your brains once in a while. Every time you encountered the thief, Ellie was standing right in your midst. No, the thief that 4 times stole the show. Oh, and those priceless relics. Was me. Meanwhile, Ellie hid in plain sight, supplying me with just the knowledge I needed to stay one step ahead of my pursuers, all while spinning the hair-raising tales of my exploits that won the hearts of this nation. We owe a lot to you. Truly. Why, without the tales of your hapless attempts to catch me, we never could have risen to these heights of celebrity. Miss Cece, from a gentleman to a lady, I would ask you one thing and one thing only. Just what is it that you and Miss Ellie hope to accomplish with all of your schemes? Justice! 400 years ago, Ul'dah dogs reduced our great nation to a nation of zombies. At long last, the cowards that would still justify these foul deeds will suffer the same fate. Wait, the histories say that it was Hilda that turned their own men into zombies. The histories lie, and you work from the shadows, silencing those who would speak the truth. You should have died with your fellows, false arbiter. Ah. It was Ul'dah that ordered the creation of that dreadful powder and wielded it as a weapon against our proud ancestors. The history of your glorious sultanate is built on a lie. What is this madness you speak, woman? I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Everything we're learning about Ul'dah doesn't seem like the greatest people to run the nation. Okay? Not madness, truth. The powder in my possession was stolen from the Ul'dah army 4 centuries ago by one of my ancestors. They say it was his final act of courage in the moments before his leg fell off and his rotting head dropped from his shoulders. This is the truth that the histories don't tell. The truth that this doe-eyed sultan swore would kill to keep buried deep in the sands of Thanalan. But your time of reckoning is nigh. Oh, yes. Before long, you, and everyone in this rotten nation, will know firsthand the horrors my ancestors knew. And just what do you mean by that? Oh, how the idiots lap up the stories. A masked crusader for justice, a dashing rebel waging battle against power and authority. Oh, if only they knew. But they will see soon enough, when they're eating each other's brains out on the streets. In the last days before our proud nation was razed to the ground, a band of the final survivors stole a vast quantity of the powder from the Ul'dah vaults, hiding it away in a secret vault sealed with powerful magics. The sole means by which the vault may be opened? By assembling 4 secret relics from Belladia, 4 relics once housed in the royal palace of Sildon, and before the Ul'dah dogs stole them and claimed them for their own. And so it dawns upon you at last. Yes, even as we speak, Ellie makes for the vault, the 4 relics safely in hand. Just think, one day you'll be able to tell your grandchildren you were there when zombie powder rained down on Ul'dah. So wait, you'll all be dead! Preposterous. She's crazy. I like her purple hair, though. But first, you, my dear. Oops, I just skipped that all up. Just to kill her. I think not, Miss Cece. Oh. But he already is on man. Oof. Hildibrand! You idiot! Just for once could you not get in the way? God, Bert Manderville, I can't even trust your sorry arse to look after him for a day. Uh-oh. I love it. Mama Vanderville. Am I to understand that you are Hildibrand's mother? Greg. Hey, this is more like it. Hand to hand, skillet to skillet. It's enough to send a warrior's pulse racing. Prepare yourself, Burr. The time of our final confrontation is nigh. Oh yeah. I knew it. And Vanderbilt Mom! True, I was worried about meeting her. Do you have Papato's brains, you overstuffed buffoon? My beloved boy's been turned into a stinking corpse if you hadn't bloody noticed. You, Burr or something, was it? Wait. It's like me. Hildy's told me all about your hijinks together. Pleased to meet you. My dear boy's always had a bit of a rebellious streak. What can I say? I can come on a bit too strong at times. But can't you blame me? This time I thought I'd sit back and leave things to my sorry arse husband here, and look what that got me. You'll help me out, won't she? The sound effects. I can't. Yeah. Please don't hit me with the pan. Or whatever it is. Oh my gosh. Just had to think aloud. Reunited with my dear boy for the first time in ages, and just look at him. He's green. Fortunately, there's still time to reverse the zombie curse, and I know just the remedy. A phial of holy water. The ingredients are simple. A tatter of oversoul rags and a phial of twice distilled water. Sid Coat at the market stocks the former, and the latter you can procure from a trader by the name of Guest. Now hurry! Once the poison spreads throughout his veins, no antidote will save him. In the meantime, I will search for the bumbler's bumbling assistant. With any luck, Mr. Shu is still alive. Ouch! That smarts! Egads, Hildy, you're looking none too hardy yourself. No thanks to you, you bumbling oaf. Now are you going to accompany Burr here and make yourself useful, or do I have to reintroduce you to that wall? But of course, milady. Gilgamesh is ever at your service. Sid Goat Sundries, was it? Come now, Burr, there's work to be done. So funny. Oversoul rags from Sid Goat. That place. Yeah. The Avenue of the Exchange. Get to the crystal! Where is it? I don't know. This. Ah, it's okay. Get so confused with these maps. Ulda? Well, that's tricky. To my brain. Just my brain. That's really tricky. Here. Perfect. Oversoul rags, you say? I fear that I've only a single tatter left in stock, and it's already been spoken for. Oh my gosh, of course. But my good man, you must reconsider. My dear friend's life, and quite possibly mine own as well, hangs in the balance. I sympathize with your plight, friend, but a man has to make a living. I've been promised a copious supply of rare chimera membrane for these rags. Unless you can offer me the same, no deal. God, you expect us to be able to summon such a rarity out of nowhere at a moment's notice? Well, look what we have here. If it isn't the Warrior of Light from the Colosseum. Funny who you meet at the markets. Oh, hey. As it happens, I just returned from my training, and the slaying of 10 chimeras just happened to be my task for the day. If it's chimera membrane you seek, you're more than welcome to a share. Wow, how convenient. My lady, you are far too kind. Don't mention it. If it hadn't been for Inspector Hildibrand and Burr here, I'd still be tag teaming with that slimy beast and cheating my way to fame and fortune. And I'm a woman who pays her debts. I love it. Sal will take me if that wasn't a Villa the Tempest. Ever since she confessed to her trickery and started climbing back up from the bottom of the ranks, I've been proud to call myself one of her biggest fans. Why, I've half a mind to give you the rags you seek simply for the privilege of meeting her. But I won't. A kind sentiment, my good man, but we are more than happy to uphold our side of the bargain, aren't we, Burr? And with this, our task here is done. Now let us find this traitor named Guest. I hope I'm going the right way. Not that one. Hey, there he is. The blundering Vanderbilt boy's on his last legs, and you need something of mine to save him, you say? Humph. Perhaps you could give me a good reason why I should care. Those bloody Vanderbilts are richer than the traders themselves, yet they have the audacity to haggle me down to the last gill for every purchase. If the family line ended today, I'd be a happier and wealthy man. And now, I believe the ballroom calls. Good day to you, and do pass along my condolences to the grieving parents. Have you not a shred of honor or compassion in that spindly body? Business rival or no, the man is on death's doorstep. After the events of that day, my father will not so easily forgive and forget, but it matters not to me. No, my love for you is as deep as the 7 seas. I beg of you, milady, may I have this dance? We're just meeting everybody here. It's a small world. Burr, what a lovely surprise. Are you here for the ball, perchance? Heavens, the poor inspector. Well, if it isn't the lapis maiden in the flesh, what say you bid farewell to preening fops and scruffy adventurers and share dance with a cultured gentleman befitting your great beauty? Why, it would be a pleasure and honor both, my lord. Provided you first provide my good friend Burr with the bottle of twice distilled water she seeks. Ha ha ha. Got him. You know this woman? Bah, if that is the price you would set, then so be it. Take it. It's barely worth its weight in gil anyway. Now, shall we, Miss Arabella? I got friends in all places. And they just conveniently show up at the right time. I knew Hildy to be a worthy rival, but to think he was this beloved by so many. Clearly this realm would deeply mourn his loss. Quickly, Burr, let us deliver these goods while there is still time to save him. Sorry. Yes. Here you go, Bubba. Oh shoot, skipped what you said. Bloody brilliant. Aye, I'd take you over my muscle-headed half-wit of a husband any day. Now step back and let me show you some real Vanderbilt home cooking. Ah, you bloody bugger, guide my skillet. Hey, that should stop it spread. Now it's up to Hildy to flush what's left out of his system. Don't worry, he's my son after all. I reckon he's still got some fight left in him. Look who I found. She was slumbering obliviously in a rubbish-strewn corner of Pearl Lane. Boy, did that nap feel good. Yes, I'm sure it did. Burr, word has it that Ellie has been sighted at the Silded Ruins. We must go there with all haste. You've done well by my dear boy today. Don't worry, I'll handle things from here. There's a nice warm bed for him, and I think I know a few specialists who might know a thing or two about his condition. What in the seven hells are you standing around for? The future of Ulda is at stake. Burr, my strength is yours as well, for Ulda, and for our friend Hildy. You remind me of my husband, what with you having more muscles than sense. If you're so keen on making yourself useful, then why don't you just run to the markets and bring me some fire crystals? Keeping my dear boy warm is key to fighting off the zombification. Let's see, I believe 20 crates or so should suffice. I am a warrior, not an heir. Ah, yes, milady. Well, now you know how I feel, Greg. So funny. I say, Enkidu, the burden we must bear simply to secure my long-awaited final confrontation with Burr. That said, the events of today have given me cause to reflect. Burr and Hildy both. Oh, to be blessed with such veritable legions of friends tried and true. But alas, not I. No, only one true friend have I ever known, and she is long lost to me. You are a fine bird, and have given me great comfort in my travels, but you will never be Enkidu, my one and true companion. Oh, my friend, were you here with me, even Burr cannot stand against our combined might. Oh, Enkidu, wherever you may wander, hear my words and return here to my side. Enkidu, do you hear me? Enkidu! God, what was that flash from the heavens? It nearly blinded me. And what? The crystals? Where have they gone? Uh-oh. Fancy meeting you here, old friend. That voice, could it be? My faithful companion, why must you always make me wait so? Oh shoot. You just summon a primal? Because why wouldn't you? Okay, so now I'm going to end this here for today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Sorry for the interruptions. It just never fails. There's always something. But if you don't mind giving a like and subscribing if you're new here, keep an eye over on the community tab. I'll give a heads up when I'm going to stream tomorrow, but there's also our schedule over there now too. We have a Discord. You can find the link in the description, as well as a Patreon and other links of everything else. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you again soon.